Yes, the title is a bit clickbaity, but I think this is a pretty valid take. GTA 6 might disappoint some fans. That's actually what a ex-Rockstar developer came out and said recently. I mean, I'm sure everyone has seen some of the crazy takes out there. Maybe you were even a part of some of them. Maybe that's why Rockstar are so silent, because they want people's expectations to just keep getting higher and higher. I mean, it feels like some people out there in the GTA 6 community think this game is gonna solve world hunger, cure cancer. It's gonna be the next revolution of gaming. Those are some of the expectations people have with this game, and I think it's pretty valid to say those people might be a bit disappointed when the game inevitably does release. In today's GTA 6 video though, what we're going to be taking a look at is an interview from this particular person, Obey Vermeege. He was a technical director at Rockstar North from 1995 to 2009, so yes, he did leave quite a long time ago. But if we do scroll down here on his page, he was the technical director during all of these games. And these are some pretty big games, obviously. Like, these, of course, are the games that shaped Rockstar as a developer. And even though he did leave back in 2009, you know, he worked at Rockstar for 15 years. So I'm sure he probably still had connections at Rockstar. I'm sure he still talked to some of those people. And in my opinion, it's a pretty interesting perspective to get on GTA 6 from someone who's worked at Rockstar, has worked on some previous GTA games. It's not like this is coming from some random person. So with all that being said, let's actually go ahead and take a look at what Obey had to say about GTA 6. And as we read through this article, which does sum up like an hour-long interview, the reasoning behind what he says, I mean, it's very valid. It makes total sense. He says, "We will likely never see a technological jump like we did between GTA 2 and 3 or San Andreas and GTA 4 ever again." And one of the big reasons why he says there's not going to be a huge gap, you know, from like GTA 5, for instance, to now to GTA 6 is because the technology is just moving much slower than it did back in the day. He says the difference between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 was enormous. But from the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, it's not that big of a leap. Obviously, there are major improvements, but comparing the two sort of eras, like nowadays, things aren't advancing as much as they were back then. And his take is, again, very reasonable. He says that GTA 6 might not be that wildly different from GTA 5. And while Rockstar could pull it off and, you know, they might produce something, and probably will produce something pretty amazing, some players' expectations are just a little bit too high. Because again, you could just never have that jump from San Andreas to GTA 4. Like, that was probably one of the biggest jumps in gaming. Even, of course, GTA 2 to GTA 3, I think, wasn't GTA 3 like one of the first open world games like ever? And some more stuff that he said regarding GTA 6. He said it's going to be one of the best games out there, but it still could disappoint some people. And that's just because there are so many people wanting to play this game that there's bound to be a few of them that just have crazy high expectations. And he does note that in the trailer's beach scene, probably the biggest scene from that trailer, it blew him away, but he's not sure how much GTA 6 is really going to differ from the previous game in the series. Now, I wanted to bring this up now, I guess a year and a half-ish before the game releases, because I think it's the best way of going into the game. Look, I know we're all excited for it, and I myself have crazy high expectations for this game, but to me, at least, it's way better to lower expectations for games, going into them with those low expectations and then being blown away when inevitably, you know, certain games are better than what you thought, than to have crazy high expectations and then be disappointed when the game doesn't match those expectations. And we definitely saw this a bit in trailer 1. Now, maybe we'll see more in trailer 2 and screenshots. We'll get deeper and deeper into the game to learn more about it and to see how much, you know, crazy advanced it actually will be. But at least in trailer 1, there were a couple of scenes that put my expectations in check as far as maybe like graphics and such compared to Rockstar's last game, RDR2. RDR2 is what, 5 or 6 years old at this point? It's still a masterpiece. I mean, it's still one of the best games in the last 5-ish years. But graphically speaking, it doesn't necessarily look that GTA 6 is going to be that much better than RDR2. And I think that's one of the points that the Ex-Rockstar dev was making. The lighting and like the weather and the clouds we got to see in trailer 1, they do look very similar to RDR2's clouds and weather and lighting. It doesn't look like there's a crazy jump as far as the graphics go. Now maybe it'll be more detailed, it'll be tweaked to maybe be a little bit more realistic, you know, small things like that, but it doesn't look like anything major. And that's not a knock on GTA 6 or anything, like, because again, RDR2 was such a great game. And honestly, I mean, if you get RDR2 but in a GTA world, I think that's what most people would want, because RDR2 was such a good game. Like if they could take all the stuff they made in that game, but just put it modern day in a big city, that game alone would be 10 out of 10. Another thing where people just have crazy high expectations is the map and the map size. People want this map to be the whole freaking US or something. Obviously, we know it's only going to be Florida and maybe the surrounding areas, but at least compared to GTA 5's map, we kind of know it's only going to be about 2 times the size. Now, it will have more cities. More than likely, it's going to have a lot more interiors, but it's not going to be that much bigger. And I think this is one of the areas where there's going to be some people, maybe a decent amount of people, that are going to be a bit disappointed when the game comes out and it's not 5 times the size of GTA 5 or RDR2's map. I think where Rockstar are really going to improve is actually the density of the map. Again, indoor spaces, just a lot more going on, not as dead feeling as GTA 5. I mean, GTA 5's map, 80% of it was freaking mountains where nothing happened, right? So that's going to be the big change going into this game. It's not the size of the map, but the density of the map and how much stuff actually happens. And another thing, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, but it does seem like Rockstar are going pretty big with the physics. I think that's going to be like the big thing, which isn't necessarily something you can like promote heavily. That's not a big selling point for a lot of people. Like 5 times the size of a map, that's a big selling point. But hey guys, the physics are better. Doesn't really sound as good. But we've seen in the trailer, the hair, especially like the jiggle physics we've seen a couple of times. Those small details, I think, are really where Rockstar are going to improve from GTA 5 to GTA 6. So even if this Ex-Rockstar dev is saying there's not going to be a huge jump, which I kind of believe him, there are still going to be some very, very big jumps in some of the smaller things. And the final thing to end the video that I'll say is, even though the jump won't be as big as, you know, a San Andreas to GTA 4, GTA 5 to GTA 6 is still going to be pretty damn big. I mean, GTA 5 was made on the PS3, and we're making this game GTA 6 on the PS5. There's still going to be plenty improvements. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm sure there's going to be people out there that just discredit this guy because he hasn't worked at Rockstar in 15 years. But I do think, again, it's an interesting perspective from someone who has worked on a bunch of GTA games, has worked at Rockstar, knows a bit about the gaming industry. And again, I don't think his take is that crazy to say. Like, he thinks the game is going to be one of the better games of all time, probably, but it's still going to disappoint some people because the expectations people have are just through the roof. So you're going to heed his warning and sort of lower your expectations a bit, or do you not care and you're just going to say, screw it, you're all aboard the high expectations train, and if the game disappoints, oh well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA 6 content, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.